I never thought the most dangerous moment of my life would happen on a quiet suburban street with birds chirping and kids riding bikes 2 houses down. Not overseas, not in some dark alley, not in uniform. No, it happened on my own front porch in the middle of a sunny Saturday when a man decided I didn't look like I belonged there. Let me take you back to that morning because the details matter. I had just moved into the neighborhood the day before. New place, new chapter. The kind of move you make when you think life might finally slow down a little. Boxes stacked everywhere, movers coming and going, that familiar smell of cardboard and fresh paint. I was standing outside giving directions, trying not to micromanage too much, when I felt it. That stare. You know the one. The kind that isn't curious, isn't friendly, just heavy, like someone's already decided something about you. I looked across the street and saw him. Mid-40s, maybe arms crossed, coffee mug in hand, standing on his perfectly trimmed lawn like he was guarding it. He didn't wave, didn't smile, just watched. At first I brushed it off. New neighborhood nerves, I told myself. People are weird sometimes. Then he walked over. Not casually, not neighborly, purposefully. Like he already knew how this interaction was supposed to end. "Morning," he said, but there was nothing warm in it. "I live across the street. Name's Brad." He didn't offer a hand. Didn't ask mine. His eyes moved past me, scanning the house, the truck, the movers, like he was inventorying a crime scene. I nodded. "Nice to meet you." Silence. Thick, uncomfortable silence. Then he tilted his head and asked, "So, you renting or what?" That was the first red flag. "I own the place," I said, keeping my voice even. His eyebrow twitched. "Just a little." Like that answer didn't fit the picture in his head. "Huh," he muttered. "Interesting." Then, almost as an afterthought, "You got proof of that." I actually laughed. Not because it was funny, but because it was so absurd. "Proof you serious right now?" That's when his tone shifted. The casual mask slipped. "Look, man, this is a quiet neighborhood. We don't like surprises. I'm just trying to make sure everything's on the up and up." I asked him the question that always matters. "Are you a cop?" He smiled. Not proudly. More like smugly. "Yeah. City PD. No badge, no uniform." Just that smile. "Then, are you here officially?" I asked, "or as a neighbor?" That question set him off. You could feel it. His shoulders stiffened. His voice got sharper. "I'm always official," he snapped, "especially when something looks off." Something. Not someone. Something. He started asking for paperwork. ID. Utility bills. Stuff he had no legal right to demand. When I told him no, calmly, clearly, his jaw tightened. He stepped closer, invading my space like intimidation was muscle memory. Then came the part that still makes my stomach turn. "Well," he said, lowering his voice, "most folks around here contribute to a neighborhood safety fund. Keeps patrols regular. Response times quick. Everyone pays." I stared at him. "You mean a bribe?" He chuckled like I'd made a joke. "Call it what you want. $1,000 usually covers it. $1,000. Cash, on my porch." I told him no. Just one word, no. That was the moment everything changed. His face flushed red. "You don't want to make this difficult," he warned. "People who cooperate have easier lives. People who don't. Things happen." That's when I noticed his hand drifting toward his waistband. I've been in tense situations before. Real ones. The kind where you feel time stretch and your brain goes cold and sharp all at once. This felt exactly like that. Except this time I was home, supposedly safe. He pulled the gun out fast. Black. Clean. Pressed it right against the side of my head like he'd done it before. "Get on your knees," he hissed. "Hands behind your head, or I swear I'll paint this lawn with you." The movers froze. One of them dropped a box. Nobody moved. In that moment, I had choices. I could fight. I knew I could. But I also knew how that story usually gets told afterward. I could see the headline forming, already twisting reality into something ugly and convenient. So I did the hardest thing instead. I complied. Slowly. Carefully. I raised my hands. I spoke calmly. I told him he could have the money. Not because he deserved it, but because I wanted him to walk away alive, and I wanted witnesses alive too. He made me count it out. 10 bills. Smiling the whole time. When he took it, he finally lowered the gun, leaned in close, and whispered, "Welcome to the neighborhood." Then he walked back across the street like nothing had happened. I stood there for a long moment, my heart pounding. My jaw clenched so tight it hurt. The indent from the gun was still warm on my skin. I told the movers I was okay, told them to keep working, told them not to call anyone yet. Then I went inside and made a call I never expected to make from my living room. I didn't yell, I didn't rant. I reported facts, times, words, threats, evidence. And yes, I had cameras, multiple angles, clear audio. From that point on, the clock started ticking. The guy across the street thought he'd won. He even filed a report, first painting me as aggressive, non-compliant, suspicious. Classic move. Control the narrative. What he didn't know was that truth ages better than lies. 2 days later, federal investigators walked into his precinct. Quiet, professional, no drama. They asked for him by name. They asked questions he couldn't answer cleanly. About cash, about witnesses, about why his bank records suddenly didn't line up. And then they played the video, every word, every threat, every second of him pressing a gun into my head. There was no spinning that, no report clever enough to erase it. What came out after was worse. Complaints buried for years, patterns ignored, partners who stayed quiet. A system that had protected the wrong person for too long. When I saw him again, it wasn't on my porch. It was in a conference room. He was pale. Smaller somehow. No swagger left. Just fear. He looked at me like I was the problem. I wasn't. I was just the one who finally had proof. He lost his badge, his job, his freedom. Sentenced in federal court. Years. No early release, no quiet retirement. The department changed too. Oversight. New leadership. Training that should have existed long before someone put a gun to my head over ego and prejudice. And the neighborhood, it changed in ways he never wanted. New families, different faces. People who once would have felt watched now felt welcome. Sometimes people ask me why I didn't fight back, why I didn't take him down right there. The answer is simple. I didn't want to win the moment. I wanted to win the truth, and I did. So here's my question for you. At what point would you have drawn the line? Was it the questions, the threats, the gun, or the lie afterward? And how many stories like this do you think never get told because there was no camera, no witness, no second chance? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Argue with each other if you need to. Share this if it made you uncomfortable. Stories like this only matter if people are willing to face them.